The past few days have been very rough. My beautiful, sweet, funny as hell, adventurous friend lost her battle with cancer. My heart is heavy and so sad. I have waves of overwhelming grief and then burst out loud laughing as my friend and I recount our kick-ass adventures and crazy times with this amazing woman. It's all so surreal. It's hard to believe that we won't talk again, be there for each other in our darkest times, or even laugh so hard we can barely breathe. I miss her so much. In all of this, I'm sticking to my morning routine and surrounding myself with people who love and can support me. There's not necessarily a question involved, but I just wanted to shed light on this because loss can be such a challenging human experience. And interestingly enough, in our society, and our culture, it's the thing we prepare the least for, yet it's the one thing that's absolutely inevitable. I just want to first commend you. You're doing the right things in this process. It sounds like number one, you're reaching out and you're surrounding yourself with support. You're sticking with a bare minimum routine just to kind of keep you anchored into this process. And it sounds like you're sort of allowing yourself to just be present for whatever shows up. There is a lot of truth to what a grief process can look like across the board, sort of going through those different basic emotions of, like, again, that surrealism of like almost being in denial. I can't believe this is happening, the whole bargaining, process. And then just like the ultimate, like eventual acceptance of what's showing up. And that can be a continuum, and that could be so unique to so many different people. I want to just encourage you in this moment to continue to lean into us, to lean into your support systems, to really access that help and feel that love and allow yourself to navigate this journey in a way that feels in alignment with who you are and who you're ultimately becoming, whether that looks like tapping into a spiritual process, right, that you're exploring or that feels resonant. Like for so many of us, and it's easier to be said when you're not the one dealing with the grief itself, but for so many of us believe that once somebody's gone, they're absent, right? And that there's no other connection available to us. And the truth of the matter is we are eternal in terms of our energy and who we are. And so there is, that's even taking the spiritual context out of it. We're talking about it from, a scientific perspective. Through that process of energetic entanglement, there are other ways to tap into this energy, like you're recounting, you're calling her in by having these conversations about her, and you're tuning into, the different memories. Part of what will allow you in so many ways to keep yourself open to new ways of developing connection is this level of receptivity. And what is it going to take for you to be there? I'm going to let Ruby chat on this because I know Ruby shared she's had recent experiences surrounding this.
I do want to just take a moment and honor your friend who sounds like an amazing being. I love also how you're prioritizing being around people who can love and support you. And I know that sometimes in the past, asking for help and support has been an edge for you. Sometimes in the rawness, what's nice about that is those edges don't come up so hard anymore. Being in a place of allowing. There's a lot of big beliefs around death and dying, and people feel really strongly about it. And it sounds like you're in a place of really being open and receptive to what it can mean to you in the moment. And part of that is being in that place of surreal. You're sort of in the place between where someone's so freshly passed that you can still smell them here. They're almost in two worlds for you. In that place, to allow yourself to be present to what you want to believe about the journey of death and dying. And maybe it's different than what people have told you in the past. So in that place, really allowing for grief as a gift. Grief is a vessel that carries you through this time of transformation and change. When we allow it, instead of pushing it away, it will come in waves, it'll fill you up, it'll feel really different. And as much as possible, if you can set the story aside of what it means, like, I'm so sad she's gone, or it feels so terrible, and instead just feel it. And maybe your eyes well up with tears and your stomach clenches and your shoulders feel heavy, or your throat gets tight, and really be in the sensation of grief in your body. And allowing it, like welcoming it. Thank you, grief. Thank you. And just being there, because That's going to carry you through this time of being able to be present for it. And then, like you said, like sometimes you're laughing super hard, right? Because she's given so many gifts, and to really allow that laughter and those memories and that honoring the life that she lived, and eat her favorite foods this week, like drink her favorite drinks. Like, did she like to wear bright colors? Wear bright colors. Like, really allow that incarnate in your grief process of honoring her life in the best way you can that feels good to you. And you might just be racked. And so maybe honoring her life is just sleeping as much as you can this week. It's going to look different. And I really encourage you to just allow for this process to happen organically through you, to pay attention to what feels good and what doesn't feel good, and what beliefs work for you right now and which ones make you feel worse in the moment. If we think about death in like, we're holding the sacred and the profane at the same time. And in that place, that's why we can be in the joy and the laughter and the hilarity of it, but also in the deep sadness and the darkness and the anger and the like, all our things like this shouldn't have happened, or whatever that story is. Those are all okay too. And as much as possible to bring it into your body. When your mind wants to be like, this shouldn't have happened, she was so young, or she had so much more to give, I want you to move your body, walk around, feel it, shake, jump, to have those thoughts, but to allow your body to process it. Because when we get super cerebral, we actually pause how our body naturally processes grief and death and dying and these sort of really big emotions. So I really want to encourage you as much as possible to incorporate some forms of movement through this process. So that could be a walk, it could be running, it could be meditating and tapping while you meditate. Like, there are a lot of different ways to bring movement. And if you want any ideas with that, you can always reach out. But just this year has been like a big year of loss for me. It's really helped me tap into allowing the beings to be even more present. And Star really tapped into this. We often think death is loss, when actually death is simply transformation. I'm almost closer. I wouldn't even say almost. I'm actually closer to those people who passed now that I was already close to, but it's like, now they're on speed dial. When I want to connect in with Amanda, it's like, hey, and there she is, like literally right there. What do you need? Here I am, in that place of pure, positive, connected energy. That amazing, beautiful, sweet, funny, adventurous friend is going to be with you for the rest of your life. And to be okay that this is the transition that happens. How can you hold yourself and love yourself through it and allow yourself to really deeply feel it, so that you come out the other side with a friend who's even closer than before, and you have a wholeness. You've allowed for all of the things instead of shutting them down or pushing them away or resisting or not feeling.